Good day to you. We welcome you to these realms of light, where the vast majority of who you are also exists. We welcome you to these realms of light from where your physical life, your physical personality, and your entire physical world also springs. To begin, we will begin at the very core idea of existence. Now, obviously, you exist. And from our vantage point, this is precisely, shall we say, all you need to know that your life has meaning and purpose and rings with the vitality of the universe. Or very simply, to put it very simply, if you had no place in the universe, if you were not a vital puzzle piece within existence, you would not exist. Your existence, by definition, proves the value that you are as an individuation of the great whole that is. So let us begin by feeling that value. Each portion of all that is exists as a necessary piece of the great harmonic. And like a musical score that would not be quite complete should one of the instruments be removed. Likewise, all that is not all that it can be should one of its portions cease to exist. Therefore, know that by definition, your existence means you have incredible value. You are valuable. You are a valued portion of the great whole that is. Now, in your dimension, as it were, you are very much the masters of limitation because you have mastered the idea of limiting yourselves to actually begin to believe that you do not have this value. Now, from our vantage point, this is an incredible act of great mastery because all of existence rings with value. It is who you are, it is your true nature, it is a fundamental aspect of your you-ness, if you will. Therefore, to be able to even begin to convince yourselves of a lack of value, this is great, great mastery indeed. And so we applaud you for that great mastery, but also for the courage to experience a realm whereby your value might even begin to be in question. Thusly, in these great experiences of yourselves, you can always come back to simply being with yourselves, feeling yourself, feeling your existence, and recognizing that your existence, by definition, proves your great value. And know this to be true. Beyond belief is knowing. Therefore, rest in your existence and simply feel, simply know this to be true. Believe us when we say that if you did not have value, you simply would not exist. Now, as you know, existence has only one quality. Existence can only exist. That is what it is. It is that great I am presence. You exist. You always exist. And recognize that existence is its own quality. time, as it were, as you understand time to be, is a subset of existence. Time is subject to existence, but existence is not subject to time. Therefore, rest in your eternalness. For you create time. Time is something that exists within you. You are eternal. You are an infinite, eternal being, eternally with meaning. Rest in that knowing. And that can begin to unlock you from the dense identification with negative beliefs that are so prevalent in your realm. That can be, to use a humorous analogy, the machete that cuts through the dense growth, clears a path through the vines and the brambles of negativity that seem to be so rampant in your world. Now, of course, you know that you set these challenges for yourselves ahead of time, so to speak, from your vantage point. But because time is subject to existence and you exist, understand that your contracts, your pre-planned contracts as to what you will experience in your physical life are not written prior to the life, they are being written right now. Because now is all there is. You exist in the now. You exist in the spacious present. Therefore, there is no past within which you could have written a contract that you must now endure in your physical life. You are writing the contract right now. And you are experiencing the result of that. Thusly, understand the great fluidity of consciousness. Nothing is set in stone. Everything is flexible and malleable. And time has many properties within it that are not quite yet apparent to your physically focused selves. For time turns in on itself and expands within itself and reverberates in ways that are most challenging to lay out in a time-space reality language such as yours is. Time moves sideways. Time moves forward and backwards and in on itself and out of itself. It is very multidimensional, as you are a multidimensional being. Therefore, rest in the great value of your existence and understand the great fluidity and flexibility of consciousness, even as it crystallizes into seemingly dense forms. These forms are but images and crystallizations of a fluid matrix of consciousness that is you. Now we also sense the, shall we say, necessity to divest yourself of many great negative beliefs. And this is precisely the way that you can use this particular experience that you're moving through now as a way to become aware of the great negativities that have accumulated. Now, in prior phases of your life, these negativities would have been more in the background. However, as you move through your arc of transformation in your physical life, things in certain stages will be brought to the surface from the background to the foreground so that you can work with them in a more conscious, direct, and constructive way. Now, these are not set about on your path as punishments or as your colloquial definitions of karma. These are simply challenges to be unraveled. Much like the escape rooms that exist in your physical world as experiences that you can have, so too your physical life is its own kind of puzzle. You take upon yourselves many negativities to have the experience of untying yourself, unlocking, and re-emerging into your trueness, your true natural self. And as you untie and unlock, you have the experience of moving from darkness to light. And this is a great, exhilarating adventure that can only be had by first placing yourself in the darkness so that you can emerge into the light. You must first forget who you are so you can remember who you are from a uniquely new vantage point. So with that, then we will ask if there are any questions you wish to engage with us at this time.
Yes. Can you perceive from your vantage point any particular blockages of energies with me, things that I need to move away from or towards?
We will begin by giving you the tool. The question that will serve as the skeleton key or the master key, if you will, to ask yourself the penetrating question as you move through your life and you experience reality reflections, feeling states, or certain trains of thought, as you like to say. And the question is this: what would I have to believe is true about myself in this situation to feel this way, to think this way, to act this way, and or to get this particular reality reflection? So you ask this question: what would I have to believe is true about myself in this situation to feel this way, think this way, act this way, and or to get this reality reflection? And that begins the investigative journey. You follow the thoughts, you follow the feelings, you follow the behaviors back to the beliefs that generate them, because your soul energy is vibrating through your personality matrix, which is constructed primarily of beliefs, reinforced by feelings, reinforced by thought, which leads to action behavior, which leads to reality reflections coming back to reinforce the primary beliefs through which your soul energy filters. That is the personality construct: beliefs, feelings, thoughts. Your soul energy vibrates through this like a prism, creating reality reflections due to the actions that you take or do not take. Because as you know, what you put out is what you get back. Beliefs are primary. Beliefs, as the energy of the soul, vibrates through the belief prism with an M, prism. It generates feelings, feeling states. Those feeling states reinforce the belief matrix through which the light of the soul passes. This, in turn, these feeling states generate thought. You generate thoughts in your mind, which reinforce the feeling states, which reinforce the beliefs. And this creates the climate, if you will, of the personality, which generates action, behavior. The behaviors are thusly carried out, which are the physicalization, the crystallization of these energy states which then gets the reality reflection. This is essentially all you really need to know to unlock yourself from any belief matrix you may have fallen under the spell of, shall we say. Now, of course, everything is choice, but you have layered your consciousness in such a way that choices often occur at unconscious levels. So this penetrating question, what would I have to believe is true about myself in this situation to feel, think, act, behave this way to get this reality reflection? That is what will bring your conscious mind, bring into your conscious mind that which is unconscious so that you can work with it. So this process is your own. No one can do it for you. Of course, you can get hints and help along the way. This is one side of the coin. The other side of the coin, as it were, is to utilize that soul energy as it passes through the personality matrix and ground it into this world through the actions that you take. So the other side of the coin is to ground the passion through action, and to do that for a language, the language of physical reality is physical action. You cannot think your way there, you cannot feel your way there, you cannot meditate your way into it. You must act. You must speak the language of physical reality, which is physical action, to get a physical reality, reflection. You do this to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can, and then, of course, and this is very important, you have no insistence on what the outcome is supposed to look like. Now, this helps to unlock you from the physical mind's trained idea that it must control the outcomes. For it is not in control. The higher mind is in control. The soul is in control. Other portions of yourself are in control. So the physical mind must let go of whatever outcome it thinks should occur as a result of acting on your passion. So you're not measuring and looking for specific results. You're simply acting on passion for its own sake, because it feels good to be in the state of passion. That is it. That is the reward. This is not for a future reward of something happening or not happening. And that is it in a nutshell. You have one side of the coin to investigate the beliefs, the other side of the coin to ground your soul's energy through passion and action in passion. Now, everything else is simply a nuance of this two-sided coin. And of course, many a long conversation can be had as to the nuances, but everything boils down to this. So this is the tool, the toolkit, if you will, the skeleton keys. You have the key of passion to unlock your energy. You have the key of investigating and neutralizing or releasing your negative beliefs. And that is all there is to it. Now, one supports the other. When you act on your passion, you raise your frequency, and that reveals more of your negativity to yourself. As you let go of the negativities, you then release and unlock more of your energy that can be grounded into passion and action. So they are mutually supportive of one another. Now, many of you tend to move to the investigate negative beliefs side of the equation, and that is fine. But understand that when you act on your passion, it will naturally bring to the surface your negativities anyway. So you can lean into that key to unlock your energy. And that will naturally bring to the surface whatever you are ready to transform. Now, as we began this session with value, this is where we would suggest beginning to look is how you value yourself. What is your sense of self-value? Do you see yourself as a valuable portion of your physical world? Do you see your value as having impact in a positive way on your surroundings, on your world? Do you feel that you have a place in the world, that you have value in your civilization? Or do you feel that the civilization would be just fine without you? Or perhaps even better off without you? This is one place that you can explore. The other area to explore, which is quite common on your world, is the idea of impact and power, personal power. Now, of course, not power over others, but power to affect change. Do you feel empowered or do you feel powerless? This is intricately connected to value, because when you feel your value, you feel yourself as the unique puzzle piece that fits in with all the other puzzle pieces to create this wonderful orchestration, co-creation. Notice the synchronicity in your language: orchestra, orchestration. For when you have a beautiful musical score, it is a beautiful orchestration of many individual moving parts. And when each part fills into the unique puzzle piece shape that it is and creates that resonant sound that fits in with the totality, you have a beautiful musical score. Likewise, when any of the individual pieces does not expand into its true natural shape, they simply do not fit in with the other puzzle pieces, and you have a cacophony of discordant sounds, which is a valid experience. There is nothing invalid to that. However, you can have preferences and you can prefer to expand out into your true natural shape so that you fit in to the great orchestration. That is a free will choice. You are free. You are so unconditionally loved and free that you can choose to be completely discordant to the great all that is and to the whole by devaluing yourself with negative beliefs. And you are loved so unconditionally that you have that freedom. And precisely because you have that freedom to engage in negative beliefs and negative thinking, proves exactly how loved you are and how supported you are. The universe will support you in any spectrum, positivity, negativity, and anything in between. You are supported. You exist. You will always exist. You will never cease to exist. And therefore you are so loved, as the humorous saying goes, you are so free that you can choose bondage. So understand the great support that you have. You are supported. And any positive or negative belief that you choose to buy into, you will be supported and you will get the reality reflections of that choice that you make, whether consciously or unconsciously. So we bring your attention back to the skeleton key of unlocking from those negativities. The universe will support you either way because you are infinitely loved. You are supported. You are a focal point of all that is. Support will be there. Support is there. So these are some areas to investigate. The sense of powerlessness versus feeling empowered to impact your world, and the sense of value, how you value yourself. Now, many of you in your world also have or carry great sense of guilt. This is another potential area to explore. Now, impact is an interesting idea because from our vantage point, you have impact because you exist. End of story. Now, in your realm, because you have focalized your consciousness to such a degree that you appear to live in a time-space matrix where you experience a very focalized but limited perception ensconced within a seeming flow of time. You will not see your impact readily until you begin to act on your passion and you begin to radiate your true natural frequency. And that is what reveals the impact that you already have. It is not that you will get more impact. You will simply reveal to yourself the impact that you already have because you exist. You will never have more impact. You will never have less impact. You simply have the impact that you have because you are who you are. And that is the end of that story. But from your experiential vantage point, to allow yourself to see the impact that you already have by the nature of your existence, you act on your passion to the best of your ability. You radiate your true natural frequency, and then you become aware of the impact that you already have. Because remember, you are already valuable. You already exist. And thusly, by extension, by definition, you already have all the impact that you will ever have. Because everything is here and now. From your vantage point, you are simply exploring the spacious present in a time-space reality format. Thusly, by grounding your action through passion, you reveal more of yourself to yourself. You reveal the impact that you already are to yourself, through yourself. Now we understand that is a bit of a, as you say, long-winded answer. And we will ask if there are any questions or clarifications you wish to expand upon.
There, you mentioned several times negative energies or negative beliefs, and I'm wondering why there was not more counter talk of positive.
Because we perceive the necessity to unlock, as one of your mystics said, your path is not to seek for love, but to seek out all the barriers that you have built up against it. The idea being that as you divest yourself of the negative beliefs, your true natural self simply radiates. It is already what it is. And many people in your world attempt to bypass the divesting of negative belief part and simply attempt to overlay positive beliefs on top of the negative matrix, and therefore find themselves challenged. Because you must undo, unlock, untie yourself in the manner of speaking, you are already, by your core natural frequency, attracting all that is good and in alignment with who you are, to yourself. Thusly, you do not need to learn to attract. You simply must divest yourself of all the ways in which you are holding on to that which no longer serves you, or keeping away that which does serve you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And acting on your passion is perhaps the positive energy that you might be looking for. And we would encourage you to lean into that. Now, another aspect, another way of looking at this is consider the area of the manifestation within the throat. You can look at this symbolically, for many things in your bodies materialize in places that are not only physically manifest, but also symbolically manifest. Therefore, the throat being the natural center of expression, you might investigate as to whether there are beliefs about your ability to express, or fears you might have about expression. Investigate all the ramifications of self-expression in your world, your voice, your ability to express, your ability to act. You will find the energy center of the throat to be intricately connected not only to expression through your voice, and by extension, expression of your frequency, for your voice is frequency, but also a very powerful connection from the throat leads into the hands. Thusly, how you engage in the world through your hands, the actions that you take through your hands, for your hands are great transmitters of energy. That is also in question. You may ask yourself if there are blockages to the expression of your true natural frequency. Does that make sense?
No, not strongly, no.
Well, it is something to investigate.
Yes.
Something to meditate upon. You can ask a question: what am I afraid will happen if I express my true natural self? Now you can channel this into specific areas of your life. What am I afraid will happen if I express myself in my relationship? What am I afraid will happen if I express myself in my working environment? What am I afraid will happen if I express myself in my society, with this group of friends, that group of friends, and so on? That question leads you to, through the fear, since fear is a natural consequence of holding on to negative beliefs, you can use the fear as your friend, as your guiding mechanism to point out exactly what belief matrix is generating that fear. And then you will have the belief to work with. And many in your world do not like this idea of going spelunking into the cave of negative beliefs, because they are afraid, well, if I amplify the fear, will I not simply manifest more fear, or more bad things will happen to me? However, when you investigate with consciousness your belief matrices, you are not attracting that energy, but you're transforming it. There is a difference. Now, you will be attracting that energy when you are avoiding the fear. Or when you avoid the fear, that is when it is unconsciously vibrating in your energy field and you're simply choosing to ignore it, but it is doing its thing. For what you put out is what you get back. When you investigate the fear, you're bringing consciousness back into it, and thus you are divesting yourself, you're metabolizing it, you are increasing your sense of self-empowerment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Avoidance is quite rampant upon your planet, and many in the so-called positive thinking movement are very afraid of their own feelings. Whereas we are telling you that your feelings are precisely what lead you to those places within yourself that you can explore and unlock, and thusly allow more of your energy to flow in its pure natural state. For all fear is energy of your soul that is vibrating or moving through the prism of a negative belief. So fear is your friend. It is letting you know that you have something out of alignment. Now, if you're driving your car and you notice your steering mechanism is out of alignment, you simply remedy it. Likewise, fear is that which lets you know that you have something out of alignment in your belief matrix, and you can use the fear to your advantage as a messenger telling you that something is off. If you ignore it, this is where you get into trouble, just like when you ignore maintenance on your vehicle. Things have a way of compounding over time, so does fear too compound over time. Thusly, do not be afraid to investigate these feeling states.
So it sounds like I need to be somewhat more methodical of my fears, to use them as a guide for the things that ail me. I need to be more methodical, not just maybe do a study of my fears.
Journaling can be a good process, but yes, being, as you say, more methodical or more meticulous, more discerning. Let us say that you are a cook and you're cooking a fine meal. You would take pride in your work and you would want the finest ingredients in just the right proportions, understanding how they mix and blend. And likewise, your life is your work of art, is your creation. Thusly, be very aware of the different frequencies that you are mixing together into your soup. For the ingredients that you put in is the results that you get. Or as an artist painting a picture, you'd be very discerning as to which colors to choose, which materials. Likewise, when you paint your physical reality experience, also be aware, be very discerning. It is an act of awareness. For when you simply do things by default, you simply perpetuate that which already is. But you fall into a trance. Your belief matrix, your vibrational set point simply recreates the same reality. Now, everything is always changing, but for many of you, things keep changing to more of the same. And how you unlock from this trance that your beliefs automatically generate is to investigate them and to be more meticulous. Now, the set material has many techniques for this as well. So it is not a new knowledge in your world. So yes, being more meticulous in your awareness of yourself. Any other questions that you wish to clarify?
No, that's a lot. I have a lot to digest, and I thank you very much for it.
Very good. Now understand that you are supported and you can tap into the energy and the support that is surrounding you. You, of course, have your higher mind, your soul, your oversoul, as well as other extra dimensional assistance. So you can tap into that, but understand that everything will come down to your own agency, your own ability to. You have an expression in your world to grab the bull by the horns. It is your path. And thusly, help is there, but you must do the, we will use the word work, but it doesn't have to be work in that sense. It can be a play. It can be a joyful expansion. It can be a joyful experience, even to go spelunking and looking for negative beliefs, because there is this sense of, oh, joy, one more negative belief I can untether myself from so that I can have more of my natural energy flowing beautifully and purely, and that is exciting. So how you frame the experience can make all the difference, how you define the experience. Therefore, let it be a process of joy rather than a process of pain and struggle and putting your shoulder to the grindstone and all the different expressions of that you have upon your world. So we thank you very much for being here, for opening up to this energy, for remember that we are reflections of your own higher mind. So while you are speaking to us, you are also speaking to your higher mind. We are acting as a mirror reflection to help you to connect to that which you already know within yourself. So this conversation can and will continue. For this energy is who you are. It is not outside of you. And with that, then we will wish you a beautiful, loving, and a grand and joyful, and a fond good day. Well, all right.